Hello guys, this is Blargy Parable from Savvy Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing you a neat little fully automatic flower and seed farm that I had recently seen on Etho's Labs channel in episode 360 something, and I wasn't able to find any good actual tutorials on how to make it exactly as I've seen in the video. So I figured to take it upon myself, and after some testing over there, I managed to find a way that I think replicates what Etho has built pretty well. And I guess that's what I'm going to be showing you today with all of these. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to be showing this tutorial in 5 steps, including 1 side step. And then at the end I will show you some statistics on how it performs, and maybe a little case idea or something to make it more aesthetically pleasing. So step 1, you are going to actually lay down tracks, power tracks like this, and a space in the middle with no tracks wherever you want the dispenser to dispense bone meal to be. Underneath the first tracks from the line, you're going to be placing redstone blocks, or if you prefer, underneath the block you can put a lever if you can't afford the redstone. It's very important at the end here that you put normal rails and not power rails, because this will separate the power rails here and here, and will not allow this energy to pass to these rails. Next, right now you should be able to pre-dig these holes as seen here. Down 2, down 2, down 1, and you're going to want to place stone bricks here and here because there will be redstone comparators on these. You can think of tread count here to make it easier for yourself later. And that's pretty much it for this first step, and we will move on to the next one. Now on to step 2. Step 2 is really about creating the enclosure that will contain any seeds and flowers that try to spill over the edge, and ensuring that the pistons are in place to move the dirt blocks where the flowers will be planted. First step, the bottom layer, place all around in stone bricks except for dead center here where your dispenser will be. Next layer, you're going to place 4 pistons, and then a straight line of stone bricks, or whatever material you choose, and another line of pistons. The pistons cannot exceed the rails. That is very important. Next layer, which is on top of the pistons, will simply go all over, up until where the pistons end. And that's the enclosure and the pistons. 3 is going to be one of the more complicated ones, as it will show how to install all the redstone components needed to not only collect, to dispense bone meal, and to move the grass blocks. To start, you can place your dispenser in the middle and run a wire up through the hole we made earlier. Next, run this wire up 3 blocks back and create a 3x2 platform with a 1 block extension in the middle, away from the rest of the machine. On this end, you're going to place a lever, redstone dust, redstone comparator, and then right click on it to activate this switch right here. After that, you're going to place redstone as such and run this redstone wire down to your dispenser out in the middle. Don't forget, this must be a dispenser and not a dropper for the bone meal to activate once released. Next up, run redstone wires up here and all down until the pistons end. These will power the pistons simultaneously to move the grass blocks back and forth as quickly as possible. That's it for the clocks and the pistons and the dispenser. Now on to one of the more complicated parts. This system will detect when there is items in the hopper that have been collected from the grass, stop the minecart, drain them. Once it is drained, allow the minecart to continue, collect more, and come back. I have created a small model of this section right here, a 1x5 if I believe, that I will show you over here, simply calling this part 3B. As you can see here, this is where your chest that will collect the items is, and directly off the hopper you'll place a comparator that is not activated on the 3rd torch, a block, redstone torch, block above the redstone torch, block to the left of the redstone torch, repeater at 1 tick beside this block and on top of the block beside the redstone torch, and a block directly in front of that. What this creates is, whenever there are items traversing through the hopper, as you can see here, the comparator will detect them, then sending out a pulse to this block, disabling the redstone torch, which then in turn disables this repeater. And this repeater is powering the rail. So whenever there is items in here, meaning that the minecart is disloading items, there will always be no power going to this rail. However, if there is no items in the hopper, as you can see here, the minecart passes on top of it, absolutely nothing will stop it. It will go back and forth until it receives an item, at which point it will stop, unload the item, and continue. Finally, step 5, which concludes the construction of the actual flower farm. What you're going to do at this stage is place minecart hoppers at the beginning here and allow them to go back and forth. Next, you're going to need, if you've created a 5x4, 16 blocks of dirt. You're going to place them and be sure that there is one extra line that is completely empty at the end. What this will do is when these pistons fire, these pistons will fire back. If this were all full, none of the pistons could fire, grass would not move, seeds and flowers would not break, and you wouldn't collect anything. At this point, you can dig your trenches out to not only fill up your dispensers with bone meal, which you could add a dropper elevator to, but also collect your items from the chests. This truly concludes the process of building the farm, and one additional step I recommend is taking stone bricks and filling in any extra spaces that you might find. This will ensure that no drops escape the containment square and are as thus not collected by the minecarts. Now the 5th and final step, which is indeed an optional step. I think that it's very important to not only have functional things in Minecraft, but have pretty things in Minecraft. As I mentioned in the building, right in the beginning, I would be showing you kind of an idea of what I thought would look great. Just to show off, you could have a glass box with, as you can see here, iron edges, and instead of using stone bricks, use iron to build everything. This, I think, gives it a nice, not necessarily modern, but sleek look. The glass windows might not work on some sides because of the redstone work, and you could easily tuck all the timers and clocks underneath. This is just one idea, but there are plenty more out there that I truly invite you to go look at and try out. Alright, so as promised, I'm going to give some stats on how this thing performs. Per minute, on average, this machine is able to generate 295 seeds per minute and 344 flowers, which is actually quite a bit, as in like almost a full chest full in a couple of minutes. If you guys like this, or if you have any comments, suggestions, anything, feel free to tell me in the comments below. Like it, share it, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.